Well, hello, hello, hello. We are back with another G30 podcast in El Trafico week. Always seems to work out that way.
Yeah.
I am Count here with Mike, and we're
Yeah, what's
happy
going on?
to be here today. It's been a little bit on and off because of my kid, and Mike's been traveling in the summer, and Timmy is not feeling well. Shout out to Timmy. He had a little bit of a medical thing, but he's all right.
Yeah, struggling
Um,
for consistency.
struggling for consistency, but I would like to shout out everyone who's been engaging with us on Twitter and stuff. That side of things has been really, really good. So we're hoping that some of you have been talking to us and engaging with our stuff. That'll translate over into a little bit of podcast listening or hopping on here or whatever. I know we're usually on earlier in the day. Maybe we'll have to figure out a later time so people can watch. But we're competing with people like Josh.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to it's hard to compete with those guys, man. They got it.
love you, Josh. How's it been, Mike?
It's been good, man. I've just been sort of here for the summer, getting things done. Work is fine. Just got back from traveling. It's great. First time out on the East Coast. Super cool. And now I'm just sort of heading back, trying to find my routine again and just see out the rest of this summer, which is crazy. It's July already.
Good. Can I ask you a question? And I told you before we started, I'm gonna bust your balls.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah,
4-0 loss. Mikey's first one out the gate. 4-0 win. Where you at, Mikey? Where are you at when they win 4-0 or 4-1?
I'm not there, bro. I'm not there. I was
Hater.
Dude, I was so checked out. I was in fucking Maine with my phone with no service on and just couldn't be bothered.
I know.
Oh man. Hey man, look at how good the 4-4-2 works for us.
Yeah, I mean
You
that's
know?
kind of what I had teed up here for the beginning. Let's recap a little bit. Galaxy, since we last talked, we beat the shit out of Austin. I think we talked about that one.
Yeah, we did.
We
had lost to Houston.
No, that was before. We lost to Sacramento in the Open Cup. That started a deep downward spiral, I think, warranted in Galaxy Twitterverse and online. Then we lose to Minnesota, and we've been talking in the back channel like, wow, if we lose that game, it's going to get really bad, and it did. I am pretty sure 90% of people out there, if not 99, are Klein out. All of the fan podcasts are Klein out. Even Josh, Corner of the Galaxy. LA is our house, guys. We're talking about this. When Josh is like, the FO is bad,
it's a little bad.
It's bad. And right now, state of the squad is, kind of a mess. But, they go into the 4th of July. Until some matches earlier in the day, Montreal was number 1 in the East. And we played them and smacked them up like it was nothing, dude. Ryan scored 2 goals. Ryan played striker, Mike. Played striker and scored
didn't
a
he
goal.
come off the bench as well?
No, I think that was the game before he was in. He was in. We'll talk about Aguirre. Aguirre has kind of been in and out playing for him. But it's not great, dude. Obviously, it's Klein out. Obviously.
Yeah, dude, there's no other way around it.
But if and when is it okay to? So where do we place I guess here we go. Here's an institution question. Where and when things are going so poorly and then you have this 4-0 win, where do you place that on the spectrum of like be happy about it but still wary, or be pissed, or it's not good? You know what I mean? Like, where do you put it? What do you do coming off of so much negativity with something like a decisive 4-0 win?
I mean, it's just one of those things where you do have to very much take it in stride. You have to be very conscious of our previous results and what we've been able to do. I feel like this was the only option for the team. The team had to respond in a way that was decisive. And we failed to do that against Minnesota. But Minnesota, for whatever reason, has always had our number. I don't know why that is.
Not true. Yeah.
Not even when they kicked our ass out of playoffs?
No, we did. They didn't. We beat them in the playoffs.
That was Jonah. That was the Jonah goal.
That was the Jonah goal. Yeah. They feel so. That's my point. It feels like every team has our number right now, right? Your default just then was like, they have our number, right?
Yeah, they have our number. I mean, I don't know. it's interesting to see that we weren't able to respond, but I feel like with the downward spiral that we were heading on,
Yeah.
there was only one option, and it's just to respond in any capacity. It just so happens to help that the response this time around was another 4-0 victory. But the issue that I have with these big wins is
Yeah.
that going into the following match days or match weeks, we then struggle to produce because we blow our load. And then it's like we
Yeah.
scored 4 goals and then we won't score another one for the next 2
That's
weeks.
fair.
So, I'm concerned. Um, the reaction that I've seen online from people, I do really enjoy seeing the reaction from you guys. As someone that isn't a season ticket member, seeing everyone being like, I'm not going to the games. I'm selling these
Dude,
tickets.
and 4th of July was not well attended. I've been
No,
to every
not at
one
all.
the last 10 years, and this one looked like I didn't go this year. It looked like shit on TV. But
Case
it
being,
is what it is.
you
Yeah.
weren't there, and I'm glad that there is sort of the response finally from the people that are invested into the club. Me
Yeah.
not being financially invested into the club like a season ticket member. It's interesting to see that finally you guys are sort of coming around and being like, hey, they're not going to hear us out. If it was up to me, I would have wanted this reaction last year or even
Sure. And
earlier.
I think,
You know,
yeah, I think it's a year late for sure.
It's a little too late given that this is a contract year for AEG, right?
For
And
Klein
Klein
and yeah,
for
at least
Klein.
Klein, but Beckerman,
Mhm.
who knows? That's the thing. They've set it up so opaquely that like no one
There's
fucking
no
knows.
transparency. So,
Yeah.
trailing back to the 4-0 win, not to get off tangent. I think we take it in stride. I don't want to make much of it, but one thing that I do want to touch upon though, and I'm not sure if we were going to talk about this later, but I want to bring it to you now, and then we'll see if we can fit it in somewhere in the show. But it's the issue with us being in a playoff spot and still us as fans being aware that we are just holding on and waiting to fall out of that.
Right.
You
And
know?
yeah, so people had an eye on that all day. There was a lot of awareness leading up to the Montreal game all weekend. The results were such where we were 3 or 4 points out of playoffs if things went one way, and then 3 or 4 like in, and we got the 3. So it boosted us. But right now I'm looking at the standings. LAFC's on 36 points, Austin's on 34, Salt Lake's on 29. We're in 4th place. The goal differential helps now some. And this isn't even different on differential. This is on like record. We're tied on 27 points with Dallas and Nashville, and then Seattle's in 7th place with 26. So 1 point separates 4th and 7th place, and then there's like a little bit more wiggle. Well, no, it's only 2 points between 8 and 7. So yeah, point being,
Don't
we
we have a
are
game in hand as well?
we have a game in hand.
Okay.
So that's where the El Trafico discussion will
That's
matter.
where it'll lead us.
So we have the game in hand. We'll circle back to that, but the controversy in large part was due to the fact that Kevin Cabral got absolutely wrecked on a bullshit red card. I don't know if you
Mhm.
saw it. It was so stupid, so stupid. Josh made it seem like the league had instituted a rule where like any contact with the keeper like that is
Mhm.
violent conduct or whatever, but maybe had failed to like let people know that they were raising the seriousness of that foul like a level, right? Kevin grazed, like they asked
It
Bond.
was so light. It was so light.
Yeah,
He jumped over him almost.
yeah.
I personally didn't see any contact. The only thing I saw was maybe his boot,
It was
maybe.
hair. Yeah, it was hair.
Yeah,
So
but
he gets fouled. And then at the end of the game, and I had some interesting Twitter conversation about this, and I'm going to say it again here. Douglas Costa, after the whistle, or like literally right before the whistle, throws an elbow to the back of one of the Minnesota players, gets himself suspended for 2 games. It came out earlier today. He's been fined. Kevin Cabral's been fined. But the Douglas Costa suspension is 2 games. And
Kevin sat out his one.
Kevin set out his 1, but people are saying, "Oh, great! Great that they don't ever come back because the way we played without them
It's.
was so much more efficient." What do you have to say about that?
I mean, these are our investments. These are our investments, and they're telling of how Greg has gone about scouting and finding potential prospects and people that want to come play for us. I'm
I
willing to come
I
out and admit that I was wrong about the Costa thing.
Yeah.
That's it. but these are our guys. You know what? Maybe it's good to, ride pine a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to provide healthy competition to a team that is so apparently mediocre that maybe if
Yeah.
these guys feel like they have a hot seat, maybe it'll get them to perform better. Because trust me, I
Right.
don't. These were my two guys. I was so stoked on Cabral, but like
Yeah.
he can't fucking do it. I wish I knew what happened with him.
They have him
And
boxing now. Have you seen? They have him boxing, like, because they don't know
dude,
what else to do with him.
I just don't know. It's the way he's playing and the way I've seen him play is very reminiscent of the I want to say it was the 15-16 season for Chelsea where Hazard maybe scored 3 goals all year and just had such an off color year performance. And Kevin's been going on for maybe a year and a half, 2 years now doing this for
Right.
the club.
I'll give you the stat. This season, he has about 1,300 minutes, 0 goals, 0 assists in league
Yeah.
play.
Man, I hope he can find it soon. I don't want to give these guys pity either because these guys are supposed to be doing their job, and I don't want to be like, maybe he'll get it around. Right now,
Right.
it's you need to dig yourself out.
So I peg Cabral on Vanny. I
Yeah.
peg Costa on Chris Klein. That has Chris Klein written all over it. Here, deal with this guy, just like they did to Siggy, just like they did to GB. Here's Chicharito. Here's this, right? Because that's the part
That's what we do.
of this. This is what we do. But it's ironic because we had, and we'll get into it. Guys like Bale, guys like Lingard are on the market, right? And like guys like that. Pozuelo went to Miami for like peanuts, right?
Good
And like
fucking deal.
we're not in pole position to do that because we're very like reactive to and sensitive to signing like big name players or whatever. But that's no secret. So that brings me to Gaston Brugman. The state of the squad is such, and the state of the fandom is such, where like people are actively shitting on this guy before he has played a game. And we can talk shit about the state of the squad, right? Like you can't really talk shit about a player until they play a game, right? At least in my opinion. Oh, what I was going to say is Costa, that's turning into a Geo situation. We can come back to that if you want to later. But yeah, that was a foul, didn't want to play the game. Whatever. So Brugman. People are saying he's another Division 2. He was playing Division 2, I think Spain, on loan from Parma. But Greg said today that they had been tracking this dude since his Parma days, and for whatever reason, they weren't able to bring him in last year. They got him this year. He's a center defensive midfielder. People are like, but a Cam, right? We've talked about but a Cam a lot. Brugman looks like he has some free kick ability. He looks like that classic 6 kind of destroyer player, contributing a couple goals. I think he's played something like 300 games, started 200 of them, like 20-something goals, 20-something assists. He's like right up the middle center defensive midfielder, 29 years old, on a good contract, it seems, like 2 or 3 in an option. Like he's not ancient. But if we're talking state of the squad and looking into formation, you brought it up. You said the 4-4-2 looked really good. And the 4-4-2 we played last game was Bond, Edwards, Williams, Koulibaly. Thank God he's finally turned on. Araujo, Alvarez on the wing, Delgado, Raveloson, Grancer across, and Dejan and Chicharito up top. And it worked, right?
It worked great.
There have been times where Dejan and Chicharito have not worked well together, but I think they've kind of worked that out. With Brugman coming in, that shifts to somewhat of so either two things are going to happen. We're going to play 4-2-3-1 or whatever, and he's one of the CDMs, and Raveloson plays an attacking role, or they'd switch off. Greg or somebody was talking about inverted, so the sweeper style CDM in front of the back line with the 2 CMs up top. It's like that weird upside down triangle.
Oh yeah. It's the
4-1-2-3 or whatever, or 4-1.
Probably some variation of a 4-3-3.
Yeah, or 4-3-3, right? It's like the weird, like it depends how far someone sits back. Whatever.
Oh, the 4-1-2-2.
Yeah, like eventually some kind of 4-3-3 in when you start playing, right? So based on, I mean, Mark has the most line-breaking passes in the league. Ryan, you saw what he could do, and he's kind of hinted all along. He's like more of an offensive player, even
Mhm.
though we've been playing him
I
defensive.
know. I remember last year when he was scoring goals, everyone's like, "Oh, where did this come from?" And it's like he just consistently kept on putting in good performances
So,
and finding a way on the score sheet.
where are you on this Brugman thing?
My concern with Brugman is that it feels like another Cabral situation. Cabral played in League Two. This guy is coming from Real Oviedo in Spain.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Um, Parma. I don't even know if Parma is no, Parma is Serie B. I don't know. It reeks like Cabral. He's 29. He's Uruguayan for whatever, that's worth. He hasn't registered any international time to my knowledge, and that sort
Interesting.
of concerns me too. I don't think he's ever debuted for Uruguay, and for a country that isn't necessarily too competitive at that position, that makes me question, hey, what's the underlying issue here?
That's an interesting take. That's why we miss you around here, Mike.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to be back and shed some skepticism over our future. Um, we see here at his highest point, his market value was 3.8 or 3 million. I think it was 3.8 million, and that was in 2019. He's had a really scattered career all across Italy. He's played for Empoli, Pescara, Grosseto, Palmero, Pescara again, Parma. I mean, I just
Bounce around.
he seems like a journeyman, but not at the top flight. So my concern being, has he faced enough physicality? And this is where I will agree and I will sort of give him leeway. Play in Italy is very physical.
Yeah.
If you're a defender, at least, we saw Pirlo come over and get absolutely like thrown
Lampard,
around.
Gerard. Yep.
Yeah. We saw, I'm making the comparison here because he has dual citizenship in Uruguay and Italy, but hopefully he can provide us some depth in a place where I feel like we don't really need it, which I'm confused as to why we're getting
feel
another
like
DM.
we just need to decide what we're doing.
What we want to do. It seems like we just have a lot of these guys in surplus.
Yeah.
And my ideal signing is go out and get a 10. Costa is proving to not be what we thought he was going to be, which sucks. I'll take
What
the L on
you
that.
thought he was
What I
going
thought.
to
I'll
be.
take the L. I'll take the L. But it feels like a Cabral situation, and I don't necessarily think it could turn out worse than a Cabral situation, because
No, and
Cabral can still turn it around. This guy's 29.
Yeah, he's on a TAM,
And didn't we
we
give
had to
general
pay
allocation money to
we
Charlotte?
had to pay for the international spot because we have these these bad players taking up international positions, right? Okay, so let's talk about that. We're gonna move into, I guess, let's talk rumors, and then we'll talk about, if you're with us, we'll talk about El Trafico. Kind of
That's
preview
how
the
we'll
game
wrap it up.
after this. Yeah, we'll wrap it up. So the latest and greatest today. Well, there was a Latin sports writer who hinted the Wales versus Wales flag, El Trafico, a couple weeks ago, hinting to Aaron Ramsey, who again is like a surplus midfielder. Doesn't really
He just doesn't do.
make
He
sense.
never played Cam for Arsenal. Why? The frustrating part here is, why are we buying these players that aren't Cams or have played Cam and trying to put them in an advanced role and have them learn it in a developing league? It just does not make any fucking sense. If you want a 10, buy a 10.
Okay. Right. If you want a 10, buy a 10. We'll come back to that, because like that smells to me of, and it's quite fairly obvious, the Bale thing would be Ramsey thing. They're just trying to stay sharp until the World Cup and they'll both retire or whatever. Maybe Bale retires, maybe Ramsey has another year or two. Now there's been a lot of talk today, and I know contain your reaction, about Jesse Lingard. Now, Jesse Lingard is a hugely controversial player, I think, in England in general. I think he was caught up in that stuff with Rashi. That was really unfortunate as well. Some of the racism stuff that goes on over there. He's a guy who has a lot of swag and a lot of flash, but again has bounced around teams. And what has he really done to cement himself? How old is Jesse Lingard? Someone joked today. I think it was Bezzy. What's
Yeah.
up, Bezzy? Bezzy said, "Is he still 19?" Because he's
No,
like that player. He's like forever young, but he's not anymore.
ladies and gentlemen, our valued and cherished free agent Jesse Lingard, who has left Manchester United and is now seeking a job
I don't blame
as
him.
of July 1st, 2022. The pride of Warrington, England. He is now 29 years old.
Yeah.
Jesse
Where
Lingard,
did they go? Where did the
29.
10 years go?
29.
Which is
Holy
fine.
shit, he's 29
Which
years
is
old.
fine for Jesse Lingard because he's Jesse Lingard, but that's also
Yeah.
bad because he's Jesse Lingard. It's like, which Jesse Lingard are you going to get?
Are we gonna get West Ham Jesse Lingard where he fucking
Right.
lit it up, or are we gonna get
Right.
January 29th, 2021, Man United just kicked me out of a job and now I'm playing for West Ham type Jesse Lingard?
Right. So it's one of those where if he can't, and I saw a great tweet today from an LAFC fan of all people, but I'll give it to him. The tweet was, if he comes to win, that's great. If he comes for money, you're gonna get shitty Jesse Lingard. And I think that's fair. If he were to show up and be amazing, in the best case scenario, these counterattacks that the Galaxy are loving to mount all of a sudden, so I can see, after the last game, I could see what Greg wants to do. He wants either the fullback or one of the center backs to pass out to whoever the CDM is to hit Ryan or Mark or one of the wings on a break, and hopefully Mark gets that line breaking pass for Chicha and you score. Like we're kind of setting up to be a counterattacking team again. Like all the best Galaxy teams have been counterattacking teams. And I think this possession thing Greg is doing is really more about counterattacking than anything else, because it's like pass the ball around the back and what do? You try and like counter.
Mhm.
So that's what he wants to do. If you have someone bombing like a good Jesse Lingard, that's kind of tasty. But like if it's not that Jesse Lingard, then you have an issue.
I'm concerned for that. I'm concerned because I feel like the reputation we have garnered over the past few years and people with the stature of, let's say, a Jesse Lingard come here and they look at how lackluster people can play here
Timmy
and still
says
get by.
Timmy says Lingard the GOAT.
Oh man, dude, Timmy has the Manchester United Lingard bias. The one thing that I do appreciate about Lingard is that he has provided his duality out on the wings at times.
Yeah.
Is that a position where I think we could use some reinforcement? Yeah, but I don't think we'd deploy Lingard in our system as the winger he would want to play freely. Nor do I think we'd deploy him out there at all. But hey, we put Costa out in the wing, or we put Costa in the middle when he plays out in the wing. I wouldn't put anything past our management.
Right. We like
at this
they
point.
love utility guys or whatever. So
Yeah, dude. I don't know. For us to truly
he's a
make
10 though.
he is a 10. He is a true 10. He had a great spell at West Ham there where he lit it up and he was
Oh, that sweet
great.
fucking play where he chipped the ball off the
Mhm.
off the end line around the guy was amazing.
Dude, he's fucking great. I mean, we can look at his career stats in all Premier League competitions. He's played 165 games. He's lodged 29 goals and put up 17 assists, which is interesting. Wait, I might have gotten that wrong. No, I'm pretty sure that's assists. Yeah, he averages a goal every 172 minutes. I mean, it's a guy that I'm very interested in seeing if he can come here and do it, because it would very much it looks on paper like a Beckham transfer. I don't know how old Beckham was when he came here, and I know that's
He
a big
was a little
comparison.
he was a little older. He's like 30 some, like 32 maybe.
Not that I'm gonna say Lingard is not even a percent player Beckham was, even at that age. It just seems like an interesting one. I don't mind Lingard, but I kill for his signature here. No. Does it put us in a good position to maybe have something pay off for us like that? Where, we haven't had a good, I'm going to exclude Bond from this, but like, I feel like there hasn't been a good English signing in the MLS in a really long time. And the
In a
fact that he's only
while.
29 gives me sort of hope that, he'll come here and sort of be able to be a head above the competition here. But for that to happen,
I
we
mean,
also need to get our shit straight.
he could have a wonderful second part of his career if he came here and bought in.
It would revitalize it 100%.
Yeah, kind of tick up his stock, right?
Yeah, of
So
course.
Timmy says he plays down the middle. Sadly, yeah, he'd be a middle guy.
Uh-huh.
He said when he's on, he will be spectacular to have. Disclaimer: Timmy's a Man U fan.
Yeah, Timmy knows all about this guy up and down the book.
Yeah. So, and Timmy, anything you know about him, you think we haven't talked about, drop it in the old chat. Okay, so I'm going to use this opportunity to shift our sights towards El Trafico. Let's get it out of the way. Gareth Bale will not play because I don't even think he's here.
No.
Michael, I'm going to let you be upset for a minute, and then I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you why we should all keep a cool head about this. Go ahead.
Wow. As a younger 12-year-old, 11-year-old, you know,
That's quite a while. That's like a decade ago for you.
Yeah, it's a decade. About to be 21 next month. That's crazy. As a younger, preteen, early teenager,
Novice
stepping
to the
into a
game.
world, novice to the game, didn't know much about the sport, man. Boy, was I fucking reeled into what that man had going at Tottenham, and then had signed to Madrid at the back end of 2013. I think he was there for that 13-14 campaign. I think. And he was one of my favorite players at the time. He's someone whose career I've followed very closely and with a very fresh set of eyes. And even in the midst of all the controversy of him not wanting to play, no one is confused about his ability. He is someone I've always wanted to come play for us. And you can even go back to our episodes last season, and I've talked to Count about this too in previous conversations off the air. He is someone I've always wanted to come play for us. And when I woke up to him wearing the other shirt, my world collapsed for like maybe a minute or two. And I was like, wow, I'm really going to have to unfollow this motherfucker because I'm going to be seeing his shit on my timeline. And it's a really sad time. I mean, the people across town, unfortunately, have been doing, I'm going to come out and say it, I think they've been doing great business. They've been doing great business. They've needed a marquee signing. They've needed a marquee
and
signing.
Bale on TAM. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great business from them, and their ability to get two of these guys back to back on the cusp of a World Cup year, where guys are going to need to get their way into their teams. It's a great opportunity to get minutes. How dedicated I think Bale will be to those minutes, I don't know. We've seen him struggle with being a committed player. It seems at times he's more of a golf player than he is a soccer player. But if he wants to come turn up and play here, I am very afraid, because he has bags and bags of natural talent and speed, even in his older age and his injury-riddled career. He will fucking tear any team or any backline apart if he wants to come play. If not, then it'll be like a Madrid situation where he's falling asleep on the bench with his bib over his face. But
yeah, okay, so let's talk about that. So here's what I think. First and foremost, it's a brilliant piece of business. Let's start at the top. That announcement video they trotted out, and the little behind the scenes thing they did a couple days ago. Yeah, I'm a hater. Whatever, I'm hating. So what? Yeah. Their little fucking video. He turns the shirt around and he says,
"There's no name on my shirt."
No name. No. Yeah. What fucking announcement? What fucking announcement in world football you give the guy the shirt without his fucking name on it?
Or a number?
That's one. That's strike one. What that tells me is that just like everything about that fucking team, it's a shell. It looks pretty. The announcement looks pretty, but there's no fucking substance. There's no attention to detail. They didn't put his fucking name on the shirt. Number two, he's standing on a fucking golf course.
Your club's biggest signing.
Your club's biggest signing to date. You didn't put his name on the shirt. He's standing on a fucking golf course where he has this thing where it's like Gio and Vela and all these Costa, all these fucking guys. Motivation problems. His personality. You will have no idea what to do with. You can't seem to handle Vela when he has a stick up his ass. And what are you going to do with Bale? Go ahead. Oh, Mike froze.
Lord forbid they can't deal. We good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
Yep.
Lord
There you
forbid someone with 5 UCLs or 5 or 4, if you can't deal with Vela not winning an MLS Cup on a contract year, this motherfucker has doubled or has 5 times over done what their club has accomplished in maybe a few years in its career. The second
Right.
he doesn't get what he wants,
Right.
and hey man, the Beverly Hills golf course is really pretty.
Fucking nice. We got a lot of nice golf
Yep.
courses. And people brought up a lot of good points. CSAN being number one. He's like, calm down. No one wanted Bale when we were talking about this last year for these reasons. We wanted him, but understood that it would be a risky signing, right? Timmy says, he wants to see Lingard do a celebration with Dayon.
Mm-hmm.
Hazard better.
Hazard is better.
Los
There it
Angeles
is.
Fraud Club. Okay, so that's that problem. So when you kind of take all of the, and you know me, I've gotten up on my pulpit a million times and I've said this league is really physical. When you're really good in this league and other teams cannot match your skill level, they will chop you and hack you, and defenders will hurt you. And really, I don't know if I want Bale to be in my camp for that. When he goes on a breakaway, they're gonna fuck him up. They are gonna fuck him up. So
That's the issue. Who's going to catch him?
right. That's
Who's going to catch him?
Right. So it's like it's what you get
You know.
is what you get is what you get. Who knows? So that's Bale, and that's why I'm like less concerned about Bale. He's also not here. Who is here? Chiellini. Same thing. Chiellini, go on Transfer Market and look at Chiellini's record. It's injury after injury after injury after injury, and it's clear that he's here to teach their fucking busted ass defense
how to defend,
what to do.
It's right? Like Thiago Silva.
Yeah, he's coaching already. I'm not going to take away the fact that he's a world-class player, but when people were crying about Chiellini coming too, the fool got burned by Di Maria.
On hell, baby.
And, Di Maria is great, but let's not pretend he's the lightning bolt that he was.
Nope.
And he's probably faster than most guys in MLS. Also just signed a new
deal with Juventus, by the way.
Right. I love Di Maria. Di Maria is a very different player than someone like Rui Diaz. Imagine Rui Diaz burning the shit out of Chiellini. And what's Chiellini going to do? Pull the jersey, which he does. And what do MLS refs do? They love to give red cards. So I'm stumbling over myself, but I'm not as convinced the more I think about it outside of the sticker brand thing. Just like the number on the jersey, man. The video looks great, but the details are not there. The signings look great, but the details are not there.
Yeah, they don't know how to do with these guys.
Yeah, Brugman's not going to be here. Bale's not going to be here.
It's going to be a typical El Clasico.
Yeah, everyone's, fucking Bale's going to have his Zlatan moment. They are not the same fucking player at all. Could he have his Zlatan moment? Sure. Is he likely to? No, he's not even going to be here. Timmy says, I also love how they bagged on us for signing age stars and they went and signed 2. That's also a thing.
Hey, man, it's a great opportunity. It's a great fucking opportunity.
It's great for the brand. It's great for the see. I think it's a brand thing. like everything.
I do too.
A fucking brand thing. Do I
like
think
us
we're
too?
up?
I think all the old people we sign, it's brand shit. I'm
sure.
Aware.
And do I think we're up shit creek? For sure. I'm not sitting here saying it's going to be an easy game or anything. But if you are panicking because you think Bale and Chiellini are going to come like fuck this Trafico up, then I don't know. I think it's going to be more like a regular El Trafico than not. But that is just me. Mike, I want to pick your thoughts on what Steve Cherundolo, their coach, said. We're previewing the game now, and what Vela said. Today, Vela said, you'll have to cut my leg off before we lose again. I want to beat everything and anyone. Chicharito, Zlatan, I don't give a fuck. Anything with a Galaxy crest on it, I want to beat. Cherundolo said, hold on. Let me find my thing. Basically, Cherundolo said, I don't feel any like distress or like I don't feel desperate. I just want to treat the fans to a win. It's just like any other game. To which
Two
I said on
different
Twitter
mindsets.
today, this is why you will lose. So like these pieces falling into place, I'm much less anxious about the Cell Trafico than I was. But where are you on it, Mike? So
I think that though the duality of those two statements is the lack of a consistent mindset of people in the club. If your manager, who's the spearhead of the organization until time doesn't part, he's the guy that should be setting the tone for all the games. And that's the reason why we shit on Vanny, thinking we're fucking stupid, being like Costa's a new signing. I'm like, no, the fuck he's not. No one is that stupid. But when you have your star DP and your manager being like, I just want to treat him to a win, and you have Vela saying he's coming for our throats, Vela hasn't proved to me anything. Cut off his leg, dude.
Timmy said looks like
Sometimes,
he.
yeah.
Timmy said looked like he's gonna get his leg cut off.
Yeah, dude, I don't understand why. I mean, I know why he's coming out and saying that, but it's the duality of like, dude, some days it took for you to cut your leg off to get off the bench and want to play instead of being a prima donna little bitch. Because that's what you do. That's what he does. He plays like a fucking diva. Not the player I want in my club. I'm sure if we had a real honest conversation with another Leva fan, which not too many sensible ones. If you are, that would be sick to have one on the show when we maybe cover another El Trafico. I think that could be a cool idea. Maybe get someone from the other side on and talk about it. But I don't even think they want to claim him at this point. Dude, they dropped him so quick and we're like, oh, Vela, the new shiny toy, or Bale, the new shiny toy.
Yeah, and people have been saying like, let's not give him the DP off. They're having the same issues that like we have from time to time because we've been
Also,
a club
they
for a
let go
long
of
time.
Rossi the other day.
They've been like, oh, Rossi.
Really?
That was like a year ago.
I don't know. I think I got a transfer notification from FootMob, but I
know Rossi was like bought permanently by
whoever he was loaned to. Yeah.
Feyenoord or like whatever. Like,
yeah, I was
Turkish
just like, I got a notification from that the other day, and I was like, I swear,
yeah,
he
was
on
the move, but he's gone. Yeah. Timmy says he's a lot calmer. Carlos Vela won't be able to take the heat. Yeah, I mean, he comes out in like, how many times has he come out in the 20th minute when we've played them? It's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. So we have Cherundolo's comments. No big deal. Vela saying it's a very big deal. Mike, you brought up the point. Along with all of these new guys, you're gonna have chemistry issues. What is it like? What is like if you're Blessing, dude? Like, what do you do if you're like, fuck you, Blessing? Like these guys.
I hate
like
that motherfucker. I hate him.
Like these guys that have done the dirty work for their club, right? Now they're gonna like they don't know what to do with these big players. That's why it's really interesting to me.
No, dude, they're all gonna shit their pants. They're gonna be like,
so
who?
Here's the thing. And then we'll come back to more Lingard stuff because I think there's more to talk about there. But what do you do if you're Greg? You get Cabral back for this game. Do you run the 4-4-2 again?
Yeah, but not play Cabral.
Not play Cabral. Play exactly what we played before. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that was different in this lineup was last time was 4-4-2. Efrain on the right, but that's not new. And Dejan and Chicharito up top. You'd run that again?
Yeah.
Cabral.
There's no reason to switch it. We won 4-0.
Okay. What do you think the Galaxy do in this game?
I think we put up a mean ass draw. I think we put up like maybe a 1-1 or a 2-2.
A 1-1 or a 2-2. Mm-hmm. Okay. I took a poll the other day. It was yesterday. Kind of asking people the temperature of what they thought. There were 31 votes in our poll. So I said, following the Impact game, how are we feeling about LAFC? Odds have us as the underdog. Yeah, we are a plus 280 for this game. So like pretty decent underdog.
I think that is to play a factor of the Bale signing. I think that is also a reason why those odds might be a little skewed.
I kind of want to take a bet on the Galaxy, honestly, and see if I can come up a little bit.
Dude, I'm getting there, man. I only got a few more months until I can start betting. Or I have one more month until I can start betting.
Yep. 3 points in the bag, fat L, or we'll take the draw. 50 out of 31 people, 51% said we'll take the draw. I think that's the reasonable choice.
Mhm.
Just shy of 10% said we take the fat L, and 38% say 3 points in the bag. So it's basically 50-50.
Yeah.
Draw or tie. I don't, for all of the reasons we just discussed, I do not think that we have anything out of what is normal to worry about in any El Trafico matchup. I think the Galaxy do what they do, and I think we're at the advantage because if they're going to work in Chiellini, if Bale lands and they're going to work him in, they're going to get the message from up top that says these fuckers better play. They're going to be fishing for a Zlatan moment, and I think that is going to get you into trouble. So I think we're on the front foot, coming off of a win. They're coming off of a loss in Vancouver. I think because we have their number this year, that we kind of just do the same thing again, maybe 4-4-2. Try Brugman out if he's here and can play. Who knows? Same thing. He might not be here ready to go.
Yeah. I don't think
Put
so.
him in at second half or whatever.
Mhm.
And do your thing. I think Greg Vanny out coaches Chirundolo head to head
Every day of the week.
every day of the week at this point. But I don't know. So score prediction. Lock it in.
I'm gonna go a 1-1 for the Galaxy.
Okay.
Goal scorer. Fuck it. Put Efra down for one.
Nice. Like a nasty left foot.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm going to go. I want to say 2-0, but I'm going to say 2-1 Galaxy.
Mhm.
You did the draw. I'll do the tie. 2-1 Galaxy. I'm going to give it to. Dude, I want to say obviously Dayon. He's the Chiva killer. Shout out to Woland. Woland was like, when are we going to start calling that dude the Chupacabra? For sure. I'm
Yeah.
going to give one to Chupacabra. And I'm going to give the other two. The smart choice is Chicharito, but I'm going to say somebody like Ryan, somebody who's just like feeling
Sweet.
themselves right now.
Mhm. Yeah,
And then like Vela will get a penalty or some shit.
Mhm.
Okay. Timmy says, find a way to offload Cabral. At this point, I think I'd rather offload Costa.
Yeah.
I don't know that we're
I'm
like
ready to
done
part with that.
Cabral yet.
I'm ready to part with Costa.
People, AEG owns Hammerby, so everyone's like, just fucking loan him to Hammerby.
Yeah.
Give him the Shelvick deal. Timmy's a lot calmer as well. Yeah, but I think that's good. So Lingard, again, I remembered real quick, and this kind of came out in the last few minutes. Taylor Twellman shout out to Tony, man. Tony Toscano has been really engaged with us on Twitter and, getting into it with people and kind of having some real honest conversations around the Galaxy these days. And he kind of had that video where he's asking Greg about the transfer market stuff at the season ticket member, like the premium event or whatever. And he got Greg to say like, oh, we're looking for a camera or whatever. He's, forcing a lot of really good conversation on Twitter, and he just retweeted us. So shout out to Tony, man.
Yeah, shout out Tony.
So Greg said we're not done. He said they have a couple of people that will be the number 2 signing if we can get it over the line for the window. Taylor Twellman said, so people are saying LAFC, they have the open DP spot, right? That's what's brilliant about their moves. They have all these guys and they have the DP spot open. But Taylor Twellman said that they're not going to enter a bidding war for Jesse Lingard. So it seems like they're passing. They're also looking to move Chicho Arango, which honestly, if you wanted to come across, we'll give him that Edwards deal. He can just cross the street because that dude is like a murderer and a killer, and he'd be great to have. He's like I hate him on the opposition, love him on your team, like that guy.
Yeah.
But Lingard, it seems like he will only be interested in going to Miami or to Los Angeles. And if LAFC is not entering a bidding war, then either we Zlatan deal him TAM this year, DP next year, or he goes to Miami on some kind of deal. They
might
also
make
do
sense.
not.
That might make sense for Miami. They have Beckham.
They don't have DP spot either. And remember, they've gotten hit with all the financial fair play shit. So I don't know, but I think it was worth noting that LAFC apparently has said we will not have a bidding war. And if the destination is LA or Miami, I think that makes the
That follows
conversation
this.
a lot. Yeah, it's a lot more interesting. Damn shame we missed out on Pozuelo.
Yeah.
Timmy's been calling that forever. Timmy calls a 3-2 win. It'll be an interesting night at the Bank of California. And that's about it. We've done the El Trafico 45. We've been in traffic.
There you
30
go.
minutes took 45. So there you go.
That's
You heard it
awesome.
here first.
Damn, dude, you're slick. You're awesome.
Mikey, you have any parting thoughts here? Oh, I forgot to change the banner.
Nothing much, man. Just sort of happy to be back and being able to do this with you, with all of our schedules being so out the window recently. You know, we appreciate all the people that engage with us on Twitter and,
Yeah,
find
thank
their way
you.
back daily, because that's where you'll find us more these days than, on video. But I feel like that's what makes this a lot more cherishable. It's, we get to have the interaction with you guys here every so often, and then we can just shoot the shit on Discord. So if anyone wants to come and interact with me, you can go ahead and do so. My Twitter is in the bottom left corner right there, and it's at CFC Michael. And if you want to keep up with us on all of our socials, and if you want to find us anywhere, we're everywhere at the G30 podcast. It is the G30 podcast, and that's it for me. Any parting words for you, Nels? Or
Yeah, I want to shout out. Timmy's not here, but get better, Timmy. Timmy is Spicy Taco 18, 118. Timmy, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Spicy Taco 118.
Spicy Taco 118. There we go. He's got some good takes, and he's usually around. And I am Count Chalk 76. I've ranted all I need to rant. We will see you guys on the other side of El Trafico.
Yeah.
Peace.
Alrighty, guys. Catch you later.
Later.